Get orders from Central that I'm supposed to spend the weekend at a ski lodge downstate with one of the company's valued customers. This means that I get to drive the Escalade, heated leather seats, navigation, satellite radio. Also means I get to hang out with the ski bunnies all weekend between trucking around the high muckety mucks between the lodge and the town at the bottom of the mountain. Happy family, two teens, braces, very cute. Mom and dad are too busy with their blackberries. Kids get bored of listening to their music. I tell them about the Burger Chief. Everybody laughs. Good times. Get to the lodge, bring in their stuff. They reserved a room for me. Crash in a studio apartment space. Really nice view. Can't smoke inside, so I go by the SUV. Late at night, get up to take a piss. Decide to smoke too. Leaning on the truck all bundled up. Hear some coyotes in the distance. Keep smoking. About ready to stamp out the cigarette when I hear a coyote cry out in agony, like just beyond the headlights of the SUV. Hear bones snapping. I'm freaking out. Remember Burger Chief's friends. Shut the headlights off and climb into the SUV. Lock the doors. Something heavy bumps into the ass end of the SUV, rocks it a little. I'm terrified. Pull hat down over my eyes. Couldn't eat me under a blanket. Hopefully hats qualify. Hear heavy breathing on the window next to me. It goes away. Wait 20 minutes, then click on the headlights. It's snowing like hell. Get out and book it to the lodge. I found bloody footprints under the fresh snow. Looks like a regular dude. Size 10 shoe, maybe? Man, stuff is crazy. I cover the bloody stuff up with snow before the family wakes up. Still at the lodge, eating breakfast the next morning. Family comes by and waves. The father explains they want to go to the town and buy a new snowboard for Junior, and the girls want to go shopping for a cute new snow gear. Totally cool with that. I really want to get the hell off this mountain. Notice a bloody streak on the back gate. Wipe it off with a handful of snow. Teenage girl asks what I'm doing. I just said I'm just wiping off some crud from the road. Are you going to wash this while we're in town? Yeah, sounds like a great idea. Drop family off and go wash the truck. Sparkling clean. Brain can still see a blood smear on the back gate though. Pick them up and return to the mountain. Back where I was before, parallel to this, at the end of the lodge. Mountain Ranger approaches me as I get out of the SUV. Already dropped the family off. Yes, were you here last night? Yep, came out to have a smoke. Some weird stuff happened. Animal weird? I shake my head and explain what happened. She nods and blows me off until I dig up the snow and show her the blood. There's a bear down here. I'm not sure about that. Did you tell anyone? Who's gonna believe me? I'm going to talk with the other rangers, and we'll shut this side of the mountain down if we think there's trouble. So, keep my mouth shut. That would be best until we do something. The mountain is loaded with daredevils, and somebody will go looking for the bear. Right. Thanks. She goes back to patrolling, staying clear of the tree line where the noise came from. Smoking during the day. If I go at night, I stay close to the building and hang out at the hot springs. Swanky, artificial ones. There's a bar, but I can't drink. I'm a taxi guy. Drinking a Pepsi, smoking a few while I listen to the Saturday night band. Family is upstairs in the grand hall having some fancy ass family dinner. Chilling with the bartender and a couple of ski bunnies that I've been having breakfast with for a few days. Coyotes again. They are annoying or what? I asked the bartender. They're a bad omen. Coyotes don't come up this far to the mountain unless there's a fresh kill, or something has chased them up. Well, where's the lightning and dramatic organ? He laughs and shakes his head. Nothing you can get in here. It's too noisy. Right. I relax a little. Stay a little later than I should have. Ski bunnies are drunk. We laugh it up some and I call it a night before I do something stupid. Totally forgot about staying close to the building. Hear heavy breathing coming from under the SUV. I freeze. Standing maybe 12 feet from the SUV, and I can't see what's under it. I don't want any trouble, I say with a stern voice. 2 a.m. You just stay under there, and I'll go inside. I say, backing away from the SUV toward the entrance to my room. The breathing slows down as something crawls around under there like it's making a nest or some freaky ass shit. I open the door and it stops crawling. I see hot breath rising up from under the running boards, as if it's coming out from under the truck. I really don't want to know what it is. I fall through the door and kick it shut behind me, spin around and put my back against the door. Nothing, no noise. Shut the yard light off that had illuminated the SUV and that thing's breath. Get up in the morning and call the ranger down. So the ranger comes down. I stay in the room until she comes to the door. The knocking really terrifies me. I peek through the door and she says, "What's up, David? Remember that bear?" "Yes." I point through the door towards the SUV, where some serious marks were left. "What happened?" "I come out when you pull your gun out and point it at the truck. I'm not taking any risks." We approach the SUV and she has her gun ready. There are a ton of marks all over the place, like it's scooped snow from under the SUV and pushed it out. She kicks the snow under the SUV and nothing happens. I pull out the keys and hit the panic button. Horn, siren, lights, but nothing comes from under it. "Must have left in the night," she says, kneeling down. I step back as she peeks under the truck and immediately backs away, standing up in a hurry. "What? What did it do? Did it hurt the SUV?" "No, it pissed and defecated all over the place under there." "Oh my God, are you kidding me?" I moved the SUV and sure enough, there was droppings all over the place. Rolled around it even. No fresh snow. These are people tracks. "That's the same foot. Seems like you've got a friend, David," the ranger says. "You know what? Screw this," I say, rubbing my forehead. "Excuse me?" she asks. "Sorry, this is just crazy. Are you guys going to shut down the mountain?" "Yes. This is too close to the lodge to be brushed off. Whatever did this needs to be chased off or captured." The family and I book it. Get a call from the ranger a few days later. She says they never found the guy that did it, but the urine and scat samples came back positive for human. She asked me again what I saw the night I pulled the hat over my face. I told her I didn't see anything. I never returned to Murder Mountain. Family hasn't either. The following spring after Murder Mountain, Central tells me the family is back and they want to go down east. Eastport. It's pretty far away. But hey, new Escalade, and I like the family anyway. BTW, the piss and poop smell wouldn't leave the air system of the SUV, so we ditched it and upgraded to a new one. Roll up to the airport and everyone's happy to see me. Dad shakes my hand and asks me how the Burger Baron is doing. I tell him I haven't heard from him in a while. We laugh about it again. So it's a very long ride from the airport to Eastport. Naturally, they pick, a really old B&B to stay in. I, however, opt out of chilling with them and book a room for the night on the water. They're about 15 minutes away from me. Dad asks if I want to stay, and I tell them they should enjoy the weekend together, and that I smoke. He understands, and we exchange cell phone numbers. So the first night, I'm sitting at the back deck of this place, outside the restaurant down the stairs, smoking with a guy from New York who hates Maine, but his wife loves it. I'm so fed up with this wilderness stuff, he tells me, waving his Jack and Ginger around. I know what it is because I ordered a peach smoothie, and the bar handles everything but coffee and soda. Preaching to the choir. If I could afford it, I'd be in Japan. Why Japan? He asks. Really? You don't know why? No, it's full of sex. Oh, I tip my smoothie to him. We tap glasses and laugh. I hear a splashing below us. Mind you, the deck hangs out over the water by a good 10 to 12 feet. I put my drink down and step to the railing, leaning over. It's just a gentle tide smacking against the rocks. Just sounded like splashing. I'm pretty paranoid after Murder Mountain. I sit back down and light up another cigarette. New Yorker asks me what's up. Thought I heard a struggle down there. Standing on the balcony outside my room, looking over the moonlit bay. Damn, if it didn't suck so hard here. Smoking again, tapping a can of Pepsi against the railing. Hear the splashing again. Look down. I can see the rocks again. Lots of bubbles down there now. Tides aren't shifting. I say, hey, anybody down there? I shout down. No reply, just more bubbles from the rocky area. I shrug it off. It's creepy ocean stuff. I tap the ashes of my cigarettes off and lay my head against the railing. It's quiet, apart from the splashing. It stops suddenly. I look down again and my Pepsi can gets sucked out of my hand. I'm on the third floor, mind you. Swoop down into the bubbles. Holy shit. I throw my cigarette after it and I turn away from the railing. The splashing starts again and my Pepsi can is smacking against the rocks. The smacking gets rhythmic. Tap, tap, tap. Pause, pause, pause. Tap, tap, tap. Pause, pause, pause. I go down to put end to the noise. There's a rocky beach down there, just under the deck. I climb down to get the Pepsi can. And why am I even doing this? Oh yeah, I'm too paranoid to listen to the ghost tap the can all night. I lean out over the rocks and grab the can. I pull it up and out of the water and dump the seawater out of it. I climb back up from the beach and toss the can in the trash nearest to where I climbed up from. As soon as the can hits the bottom of the barrel, I hear a boat rub up against the dock. Oh my god, I'm freaked out. I spin around with my fists up like I'm gonna punch the Kraken or something. Oh, it's just a boat. This is God telling me to stop smoking. I set my hand down on one of the pylons that poke out from one of the dock supports, and I discover my cigarette is under my hand. I say, hey, lucky me. The ash broke off, so I light it up again, and I look up at the boat rubbing on the dock. It's a cabin cruiser. The name on the back is Sea Toy. Sea Toy rubs up against the dock again and again as I'm smoking. I step off the pylon dock and onto the floating dock. I grab Sea Toy's rope and wrap around it one of the weird boat tie thingies. It stops rubbing. Finally. I turn around and there's another cigarette on the pylon above. I still have mine. Well, it's looking like it's time for bed. I rush up to the gangway to the pylon dock and throw my cigarette over the edge. I get to the room, lock the door. Nope, nope, nope. Too much lactose. You're having visions. I pull the shades over the glass door that leads to the balcony. Early in the morning, I wake up to find that the curtains are knocked off the railings and the glass door is wide open. Oh shit. I fix everything as best I can and lock the balcony door this time. The family and I explore Eastport for a while, before they rent a sailboat and go off pretending to be pirates. At the hotel, the New Yorker says he heard me last night. I tell him what happened and he laughs at me and offers to buy me breakfast. We have breakfast. His wife nags him to go out sailing. I guess they sailed up here. Also, he owns Sea Toy. I spend the morning sipping Pepsi and texting a friend back home about what's going on. The splashing starts again. I ignore it and go inside to again find my room messed up. The housekeepers say it's not them. When Dad, Mom, and the kids get back, I ask if there's a room at the B&B. I stay with them for the rest of the weekend. But it gets better because it starts to go off the rails next. At the Eastport Inn, the owners have hired a medium to entertain the guests tonight. Springtime spooky stuff, I guess. So I hang out with the dad in the back of the den while the family and a couple of newlyweds get into the night action. The gypsy looking woman comes into the room and the owners shut the lights off and light candles. Here we go. Dad and I have to shut off our phones. Makes the ghost mad. Sure, sure. We both watch as this lady starts walking around the room and waving her hand over people's heads. She says something superficial about the kids and the newlyweds. Tells Mom that the dad thinks she's pretty. Duh. She gets to me. I give her a glare. She smirks and grabs my cheeks. And you've been marked. What did you say? Marked. I'm freaked out now. You're marked. Something to do with your smoking. Oh, hell no. I put her hands down from my face, and the dad waves her off. What was that all about, he asks. I explain the cigarette and the sea toy, my room, and the splashing. He shakes his head. He doesn't know about Murder Mountain, by the way. I rub my forehead as she goes on about a maiden that died at the docks. Vengeful husband drowned her while she fell in love with a highwayman. Dad nudges me. I wave a hand, not too interested to listen to her. She goes on and says that the husband killed her when he smelled the cigar of the highwayman on her. Dad begins to chuckle. I nudge him and he starts laughing out loud. I get up and leave. The weekend goes off without a hitch. We leave Eastport and the dad teases me about my ghost girlfriend the whole way back to the airport. So this is last summer. I get a call from Central to go pick up at one of the terrible hotels across town. I wheel in and pick up a scrabby looking guy. Long hair, balding on top, smells like pee and weed. He asked me to turn off the car radio and my taxi radio. I tell him I can't cut communications with Central. I just don't talk on it while I'm in here, he says. Fair enough, I reply. We go to Goodwill. He pays in quarters and gets out. Joy. Laundry money. A few hours go by and I get a call to go get him. He comes out with a card loaded with 80s tech, radios, alarm clocks with record players, phones, and a couple of TVs. Ah, shit. I help him load it all and we go back to the hotel, but stop at a mom and pop food shop so he can pick up a couple bags of frozen dinners. Nice. So I help him get unloaded and into the hotel room. Room smells like pee and weed. He pays in quarters again. Hello, Coinstar. The next day I get a call to go get him again. I wheel in and find him standing outside of his room, facing the door dressed as Captain Jack Sparrow. One of those buycostumes.com ones. Fake hair, sticky beard, shirt, hat, the works. He slides on a pair of men in black shades and gets in the back. Ahoy, Captain. Where we be heading, I say. Funny. Goodwill again and shut the radio off, he replies. Good enough. He asks me to wait while he goes in. He comes back with two gigantic speakers and we load them up. I help him unload them. He's nailed the radios to the walls. The clocks are hung like Christmas lights, and the record players are playing in reverse. And the TV screens are linked with bare copper wire in the shape of a square. He pays in quarters again. Hey, it's probably not okay to nail stuff to the. He shuts the door in my face, and I hear him lock it up. Okay, well, see you for breakfast then, I ask jokingly as I go back to the car. A few days go by, and I get a call from Central that the police department needs to come pick someone up at the hotel this guy was at. Captain Jack Quarterbag must have gotten busted for defaming the property. I roll up and get out. My cop buddy is the one who called. He tells me that Captain Quarterbag got his hands on a shotgun and shot his caseworker when she finally tracked him down. Vietnam War veteran. She's in ICU and he's nowhere to be found. He opens the door and this guy has gone epileptic Spider-Man all over the inside of the hotel room with copper wire. I look to my cop friend, who then asks me what I know about this stuff. I confess to knowing that he nailed shit to the walls, but not this level of crazy. I tell him about the stuff he bought and how he dressed. A few weeks go by and my cop friend calls to tell me that now the investigation is over, I should probably know what they found him cocooned in copper wire. His body was all charred up and jerkied, having been cooked by the wiring. I don't know why he needed to tell me this. He tells me not to take this personally, and in the future to tell him when weird stuff like this happens. So I should just put you on speed dial. Morning, noon, and night, he said. We don't talk about that, at all. I never saw any of the guy's body, but it just sounds disgusting anyway. So this is from over the winter, December. I have a regular transport with a mentally challenged client. Cool guy, not big on talking, unless it's a pretty girl. Driving on a sloppy road, plow guys are slacking. So I slow down as we come to this steep hill, and the tires give. Rear end of the car starts to come around like the trunk is going to lead the way now. Oh, hell no. I cut back into the drift and tap the accelerator so the rear end straightens up. Fishtail for maybe 100 feet until we get to the bottom of the hill. I'm relieved. My client, let's call him Chies, giggles a little and I laugh too. We're friends. I'm stopped, giggling like a little kid when a blue light appears in my rear view. Cops? Is not having an accident illegal now, I thought? Nope. Something comes over the hill and up into the air like Duke Boy style. Slush and crap rains down on my car, and being an idiot, I cover my head like I'm gonna get rained on. In the car. Blue light comes over the top of the taxi. 8 a.m. in December. Old Mr. Sun is just getting up. Orange skies frame the icy blue triangle that glides just above my car and slows down like it's saying sorry. Chies leans up to the glass of the windshield and looks up at it. I keep away from the glass. It doesn't fly away, it just fades out. Kind of reminded me of condensation evaporating off of cold glass. Chieye doesn't remember it like I do. He just remembers me being a dumbass and nearly getting us killed pretending to be Paul Walker.